Top of the morning to you, my Facebook fam, and many, many well-wishers. I am over the top excited again that you stopped by to hang out with me on Satisfied Saturday. We do have some newcomers, and we are just appreciative that you are catching the vision as we make it plain what Satisfied Saturday is all about. Here I am again, missing the human instinct that is to touch, so I am sending you another big, warm, virtual hug. Come on a little closer so you can feel the love. Kindly tag someone, do a watch party. Give me a shout out as to your location, and by all means, leave a comment. Come on, chime in and let me know that you are enjoying the show. For the past few segments, of this show, I did not explain to my audience what Satisfied Saturday, how it was birthed, and what it's all about. I just took for granted that everybody knew. But because we're getting so many new viewers, as a matter of fact, I was just told that over 1,000 people have watched the show since last Saturday. Over 1,000 people. So I am just excited, and I want to let you know what Satisfied Saturday really is all about. I have newcomers and that are not aware of the real meaning of Satisfied Saturday, and they're saying, what is this all about? And I will not be presumptuous anymore, but will always give a reason for this catchy name, Satisfied Saturday. I call it Satisfied Saturday because in spite of the struggles and adverse circumstances that you may have encountered throughout the week, and Lord knows we go through something between Friday and Saturday. And it's just the everyday challenges that automatically come along with the territory of life. And when Satisfied Saturday, when Saturday really rolls around, I am just excited. I don't know about you, but I'm like, I made it. It's like a sigh of relief that we have survived, and not only survived, but thrived without losing the mental equilibrium, without getting fretful. It should give you a sense of excitement, fulfillment, contentment, gratification, delight, and joy that we made it to Satisfied Saturday. I don't take it for granted because what could have happened didn't, what should have happened didn't. But for the grace of, and I will say rightly so, God, we are here and we are excited about Satisfied Saturday. And that's a wonderful thing. You manage to get the stamina and the gusto to speak to the chaos and to the confusion and to the hustle and bustle that can wreak havoc and ruin your whole week. You manage to say, no, we're going to move forward. It's all good. It's all positive. And we make it to Satisfied Saturday. And that's a wonderful thing. There was action taking place this week. As a matter of fact, it was Wednesday, that literally almost left me speechless, which is incidentally hard to do. I try not to be flippant or talk randomly about non-productive, frivolous issues, but this random act almost left me speechless. The Republican Senator Ted Cruz from Texas was caught with photos that he was leaving. He was arriving at the George Bush International Airport, and he was caught jetting off to Cancun in the warm sun while people were dying in the cold. As a matter of fact, 34 deaths, and probably even more by now, attributed to the storm. At the time of his departure, over 350,000 people were without power and lacked access to clean running water because of a dysfunctional system or equipment. Wearing a mask, he may have assumed that he would not be recognized. Listen to me. He probably assumed, well, nobody's going to look at me and be able to recognize. But a mask cannot disguise or hide unethical incompetence that is or was perpetuated from a knee-jerk out of character thought or decisions that he made. Let's be clear, there is absolutely nothing wrong with taking a getaway trip to Cancun, Mexico with your family. There's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I will be so happy when we can take a vacation, not necessarily to Cancun, but maybe Africa. How about that? But not in the midst of a humanitarian crisis from a winter storm in record low temperature. Some of Cruz's political opponents and citizens from the state of Texas have called on him to resign from his lack of human sensitivity. As a matter of fact, some people met him at the airport and said, "You need to resign. You need to resign." I am a critical thinker, and I came up with a bright idea that Cruz could have sent his wife, Heidi, and his daughters to Cancun, and he could have stayed behind to mind the store, if you will, so to speak. He gave the excuse that he wanted to be a good dad. He wanted to make a good impression with his daughters, but I think that he would have made a better impression with his daughters staying behind and doing what he was politically inclined or should voted him to do, rather than going on a trip to Cancun. He called his mistake in hindsight something that he unequivocally regrets. I'm wondering if it was compassion or was it the camera that caught him on his way to a toasty warm spot while his constituents and freezing, thirsty, dying citizens were left behind, hopeless and helpless. In the interview, as he returned from his 24-hour trip, can you imagine? 24-hour trip. He gave the explanation that his family had lost power and heat as well. In other words, he was saying, well, we were without power and we were without heat as well. But inquiring minds, including Lady J's, would like to know how many of those poor people could have escaped to Cancun. He wrapped up the interview at the airport as he returned by telling the departures, or the people that were departing and going, and people that were coming, and the reporters, he told them, stay warm. I am an animal lover, and we have always had a dog in our home, except right now. Bishop does not like dogs, so we had one dog, and we had to he kept running away, and so the last time he ran away, I said, you just stay gone, because Bishop does not like dogs. But I've always had a dog. We always had a dog in our home. And I wondered about Ted Cruz's dog named Snowflake. I read that reporters spotted the small white poodle peering behind the glass front door. Allegedly, a family member stayed behind to make sure that he got his kibbles and bits to take care of someone to take care of the poor Snowflake. That's his name, Snowflake. And I said, wow, that's ironic that his name is Snowflake. Snowflake. That's ironic. Snowflake. Doesn't that make you want to go, When he called Snowflake, he should have thought about the snow that he was leaving to go to Cancun, Mexico, in the hot, toasty sun, while the constituents and the people that voted him in was behind, dying and freezing to death. In retrospect, I wonder what inspired Senator Cruz to make a decision that defies all common and political sense. I believe that it was almost the dumbest, most callous thing that a politician could do that is supposedly for the people and by the people. As I scratched my head, which is an old expression of puzzlement or perplexities from thinking hard over vexing, perpetual, continuous situations that baffles one's mind. They say, I was just scratching my head. Not because your head literally is itching, but it's because of the bewilderment, the vexing and the perplexing situations. I came up with 2 words that could have caused Senator Ted Cruz to cruise to Cancun during the worst humanitarian crisis that Texas has ever witnessed. And those 2 words are mismanaged passion. Mismanaged passion means to organize or control something badly. Mismanaged means to manage incompetently or dishonestly. It's the process or practice of managing something inadequately. Many countless numbers of corporations, of law firms, marriages, ministries, sororities, and fraternities have become an embarrassment and failed presumptuously because of gross mismanagement. And the word is presumptuously. That means out of character, before. It didn't necessarily have to happen, but it happened because of a bad decision, because of gross mismanagement. And the word passion is a strong and barely controllable emotion. Passion, a strong state or outburst of emotional, and I say emotional passion, is an intense feeling, an enthusiasm, an excitement towards or compelling desire for someone or something. Passion can range from eager interest in or for an idea, a proposal, or cause that will allow you or push you or propel you to put more energy into something that is not necessarily required. I think I'll repeat that. Passion is an intense feeling and enthusiasm and excitement towards or compelling desire for someone or something. Passion can range from eager interest in or for an idea or proposal or cause that will allow you or push you or propel you to put more energy into something that is unnecessary, that is deep, and you need to play this back. I believe that Senator Ted Cruz was caught in the web of mismanaged passion. Woo, that's original. I believe that he was caught up in the nebulous web of mismanaged passion. And mismanaged passion can take you further than you want to go. Mismanaged passion can make you stay longer than you want to stay. Mismanaged passion can make you do dumb things that you never expected or suspected that you would do. Mismanaged passion can make you say crazy things that you never thought you would say, and ultimately make you pay more than you ever wanted to pay. Mismanaged passion is an extravagant quest for anything that is powerful and compelling, but in the wrong, unethical way. It's blind eagerness. I believe that's what he was suffering from. Blind eagerness, blind sensibility, blind discontentment or discernment, blind insight and empathy. Mismanaged passion is out of control, egotistical behavior. And I want to say that again because I kind of got mixed up in that. I really want you to hear this. Mismanaged passion is an extravagant quest for anything powerful and compelling. That's in anything that you attempt to do, anything that you were designed to do. You can become disabled because of mismanaged passion. It's a powerful, compelling thing that you want to do, but it's in the wrong, unethical way or unethical way. And I believe that's what he was suffering from. Mismanaged passion is out of control, egotistical behavior. It's all about you. It's very selfish. And he was very selfish when he decided to board that plane and take off to Mexico in the midst of a blizzard, leaving people that were literally dying, starving, freezing to death with no running water. That's mismanaged passion. My prayer is that God will bless the people of Texas as they recover from this devastation, and they will. We people have a way of recovering in spite of the adverse situations. In closing, I have the pleasure of taking care of and sharing and showing love to three of the greatest human beings in the world, and that is my grandboys, or should I say, young men. It would be foolish and nonsensical of me to go off to Texas and leave those three young men by themselves. I believe that they could take care of themselves, but what if they couldn't? What if they needed me? And so, because of that, I'm doing Satisfied Saturday, but guess what? As soon as I leave Satisfied Saturday, I'm going to head on back to Tenwood Sorrel so I can take care of my young men. Their parents are away in Raleigh, North Carolina, taking care of business. And so it is incumbent upon me to stay here to make sure that they are safe and sound, well fed, well taken care of. And I would call, if I didn't do that, I would call that mismanaged passion. Bishop and I are enjoying loving on them, pouring unto them, telling them about Jesus, taking advantage. I have enjoyed our time together on Satisfied Saturday. But before I go, I want to leave a thought with you. I'm just kind of really caught up in that mismanaged passion. I want you to, because we have some critical thinkers out there as well, I want you to just kind of take those two words apart. Mismanaged passion that can tear up homes, tear up marriages, tear up churches, tear up communities, tear up countries. Mismanaged passion, which reminds me of 45. Mismanaged passion, but we're not going to go there because he is out of the White House. I want to leave this with you. Popcorn is prepared in the same pot, in the same heat, in the same oil or temperature by air, popping. Yet the kernels do not all pop at the same time. In order to refrain from mismanaged passion, don't compare your popping with somebody else's popping. People's achievements and comparing yourself with their time frame. Your turn to pop will come. Destiny will put you where it wants you, even if no one else thinks that you deserve the position. How much you are worth, you will stop giving people, when you realize exactly how much you are worth, you will stop giving people discount. I work for a cause and not an applause. I live life to express, not impress. Many people on Facebook, I have noticed, they strive to make their presence noticed. They go out of their way to let you, I've got 1,000 friends, I've got 3,000 friends, I've got more friends than you got friends. Not knowing that those are not really friends, because I found out they can block you with you just saying one word. So Facebook is not about how many. It's not about being noticed. And I want to be, I want to strive to make my absence felt rather than my presence noticed. I think people ought to miss you when you're gone. I think people ought to, they ought to say, wow, Lady J made a lasting impression. Or Sister so-and-so made a lasting impression. Now listen, one other thing before I go, and I'm getting excited because this mismanaged passion is really something that we need to really think about, even in our everyday life. There was a little boy that he was overheard his parents saying that Mr. So-and-so is two-faced. And the little boy said, wow, Mr. So-and-so has two faces? He was thinking literally. And so they happened to be at the store one day and they saw Mr. So-and-so two-faced. And so the little boy ran up to Mr. Two-Faced and said, he just started staring at him. He says, why are you staring at me? He says, because my parents said, you've got two faces. I want to let you know that children are watching us. And Ted Cruz's children are watching him. And even though they stayed behind with their mother and they're enjoying Cancun and leaving, I assume on today, don't you never think that those daughters are not going to realize that their father left the state of Texas, where he is the senator, in the midst of a travesty. And we have to forgive, but you know what? That's kind of hard. You have to think about that, forgiving, because that was a devastating thing for him to do. But we're going to forgive him, right? We're going to forgive him. So now what I want you to do, besides maintain a posture of, and remember mismanaged passion, I want you to stay in that posture for a while and take that word and just dissect it in those two words and just say mismanaged passion. Am I guilty of doing that with my children, on my job, in my community? And know that mismanaged passion will certainly catch up with you. Go out and make it a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Find something positive to do. Do something wonderful. Get in some good trouble like my friend is noted for. He was noted for going out and getting in some good trouble. Go out and get in some good trouble and let people know that you can make it. That it's not that bad. That the weather isn't too cold. And I know it's cold and we're thinking already, should I go to church tomorrow? Yes, you should. If you're going to go to work on Monday, you can go to church on Sunday. Go out and make it a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And we'll see you next Saturday at the same time. Satisfied Saturday, doing the same thing for the same reason, and that's making an impact and a mark that cannot be erased. Top of the morning to you. My name is Lady J, and I approve this message.